Welcome to the NTN Nightly. I'm Nisha Charles. This edition's top stories. The government of St Lucia has officially launched the Canales Resort development in China. A newly signed MOU is aimed at sustainable forestry and wildlife conservation. The island's capability to communicate during natural disasters has been enhanced. All that plus the latest in youth development, sports, and the NTN Nouvelle en Creole. The government of St Lucia has officially launched the Canales Resort development in China. The real estate investment project is being undertaken by Caribbean Galaxy Real Estate Limited. The project will include 2 Apple Leisure Group subsidiaries, AM Resorts Brands, Dreams and Zoetry. Minister for Commerce, Industry, Investment, Enterprise Development and Consumer Affairs, Honorable Bradley Felix, described the meeting as a productive one.
We had a very major opening with at least 450 agents present. And the agents were well connected based on our conversations afterwards. And we think that it will be a project that will be very well sold in mainland China. After the ceremony, which was televised to the Chinese nation, we had a sit down with quite a few of the agents, and the questions that they posed to us with regards to our program and what can be expected was very well received. So I think we can look forward to a very, very good program, a project in Canals. The developer is ready to go.
The 5-star hotels will form the main hub of the new luxury resort and residential community at the Canals estate on the island's southern coast. Together, the 2 hotels will comprise 330 rooms, along with an adjacent real estate component with 380 residential units. The 2 hotels will include eateries, bars, conference centers, a spa, children's clubs, and entertainment areas.
They have the means, they have the connections, and I think this is one of the projects that will be very well received by St Lucians. Particularly, it's going to be a project in the south of the island, in an area that was undeveloped as far as our tourist project is concerned. We also met with the hotel chain that is expected to be operating, the hotel management group, I should say, that will be expected to manage the facility. They're also very excited about St Lucia, and I think all of these partners coming together will bring a very good product to our, a good addition to our tourism structure.
The project, which was first announced in 2017, is slated to break ground later this year. The government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, recently presented the government of St Lucia with its usual grant funding for the Constituency Development Program.
Since 2007, the government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, has been working with the government of St Lucia through the Constituency Development Program to improve the livelihoods of the St Lucians by constructing, rehabilitating, and maintaining infrastructural facilities across all communities in the country. Under the program, projects like flood mitigation, drainage, soil stabilization, community access roads, and school facilities are all implemented, bringing benefit to the people of St Lucia. Recently, the government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, disbursed funds under the program for the second phase of 2018 and the first phase of 2019. Ambassador His Excellency Douglas Shen says since inception, over 2,400 projects have been completed and 25,000 jobs created under the program.
As we know, global warming and climate change affect all mankind and the sustainability of the world. Caribbean countries are particularly prone to enormous economic losses from hurricanes in recent years. So it is imperative to ensure the safety of the St. Lucia people and their property with a strengthened infrastructure system. I believe that through our joint efforts in these meaningful programs, it will continue to enhance the environment for local residents and bring benefit to all the communities in St. Lucia.
Minister for Economic Development, Housing, Urban Renewal, Transport and Civil Aviation, Honorable Guy Joseph, says the program adds tremendous value for the people of St. Lucia.
When you have maybe 5-6 houses in a community that still have to walk a muddy path, may still have to cross drains with just a piece of wood across the drain, and then you see these projects being implemented, that changes the lives of these people in a very meaningful way. We must applaud the government of Taiwan and say special thanks to them for that level of support that we have received.
Minister for Equity, Social Justice, Local Government and Empowerment, Leonard Montoute, ensures His Excellency Douglas Shen that the impact of the projects being implemented under the program will be felt in every community.
While a government prepares a budget, outlines a program, there are always little needs here and there that cannot be met by the national budget, and the funding that you provide goes a long way in dealing with some of these issues, as has been outlined by Minister Joseph, especially in areas where you have footpaths that are needed and so on. And as has been indicated, we have also now moved into the area of utilizing some of those funding for our human capacity development as well, which I think is very important. And as a result, Ambassador, you will continue to see not just the impact that those projects create on the aesthetics of our community, but the long-term implications of the investment that is being made through the capacity that we build in our people.
This year, the program will place more focus on projects that are centered on people development. From the Government Information Service, I am Anicia Antoine reporting.
A newly signed Memorandum of Understanding will guide the way forward for improved and sustainable forestry and wildlife conservation in St. Lucia. The Government of St. Lucia and the Association for Conservation of Threatened Parrots, the ACTP, met to formally recognize the agreements that will augment infrastructure and services at the Gabriel Charles Forestry Complex, as well as preserve St. Lucia's national bird. More on this report by Amanda Flake Clark of the Ministry of Agriculture.
Honorable Ezekiel Joseph has spoken out on a matter which has met much criticism in the public domain, that of the breeding loan agreement with the Association for the Conservation of Threatened Parrots, the ACTP. He explained the details of this partnership, which has been in place since 2009.
Let me clear the air on this. One would appreciate that this is not a new initiative. This is an initiative that started since 2009, where the government of St. Lucia at that time agreed to transfer birds that were already outside of St. Lucia. It was not new birds that we sent out, birds that were already outside of St. Lucia at a zoo somewhere in the UK to Germany, so at least we can have this breeding loan agreement where we can continue to protect our farmers. We just heard from the technical team that out there in the wild, what we expect is far from the truth. And I'm agreeing that there's need for us to do a census, and I'm hoping that, Martin, that ACTP can give us some support in doing the census.
Scientific Director of the Association for the Conservation of Threatened Parrots, Cromwell Purchase, says St. Lucia need to act in a timely fashion to safeguard the St. Lucian parrot. There is need, he insists, to take definite steps to build and sustain the parrot population.
From the research that we did, nest collection, nest monitoring, we noticed that there were predators that were causing major issues. So of 48 nests that we monitored, 40 of them were active, and out of those 40 active nests, 7 of them contained opossums, a predator for chicks. So we now realize that the predation of the chicks is a lot higher than was expected. Then the boa constrictors, we also had a nest with a boa constrictor in it with 2 dead chicks. And this is an indication that the species is actually under quite a bit of predation.
Mr. Cromwell further explains the implications of not addressing the research findings, saying the strategy should also embrace a participatory effort in analyzing all threats to the parrot and to determine the best move in addressing them.
For a species that has 2 predators, both of them protected on the island, this is quite a risk and quite a threat. So this kind of information is important and has brought us to the point where we realize that a census is probably crucial at this time.
Honorable Ezekiel Joseph says it is for this reason the Forestry Department will facilitate the breeding loan agreement, as this intervention is proactive and strategic.
What we're realizing is that, unfortunately, the birds that have been used in the project is not redounding to our benefit. We can't have a breeding loan agreement, and we're not seeing progress as far as production is concerned. We're not seeing baby chicks. So we think the time has come for us to revisit this agreement. We think the time has come for us to introduce new breeding stock into the agreement, because the reality is, if you look at what happened in Dominica last year with Maria or year before, we can lose all of our parrots over one day because of climate change. And we have had the experience in Dominica. So we need to welcome the initiative that has been given to us and the support that has been given to us, because it's been done free of charge. All the financing for it has been done by ACP, and for us now is to capitalize on it, to make sure that whatever we are doing, we don't to the benefit of our parrots.
The Department of Forestry, along with key stakeholders, will continue to champion the mission of securing St. Lucia's wildlife and indigenous species, two elements which speak to the island's cultural and ecological identity. From the Ministry of Agriculture, I am Amanda Faye Clark reporting.
And this is the NTN Nightly. Ryan O'Brien is up next.
The problem starts with finding a suitable spot. It extends to double parking. Offloading zones are ignored, thus inconveniencing commercial activity. Handicapped spots are occupied by drivers who use the quick errand excuse. And of course, there's the constant fear of parking tickets. In an effort to curb these and other parking-related issues, the Castries City Council will be implementing short-term paid parking. $3 an hour can save you $500 in parking tickets. Short-term paid parking, coming soon.
Welcome back. We join Ryan O'Brien for the latest happenings in youth development and sports.
Thanks, Nisha. Welcome once again to your update from the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports on the NTN Nightly News. The 2019 Ministry of Youth Development and Sports Secondary Schools Under-15 40 Overs Cricket Tournament continued on Monday. At the Grizzly playing field, Babonneau Secondary completed a very comfortable 8-wicket win over Cicero Secondary. Cicero Secondary batting first, dismissed for 80 in 18 overs, with Kensley Paul making 21 and Isaiah Nurse 14. The wicket takers for Babonneau Secondary were Jean Keen Nelson with 3 for 11, Tyler St. Omer 2 for 11, Daniel Kennedy 2 for 15. Chasing 81 for victory, Babonneau Secondary led by Daniel Kennedy with 19 not out, and Jaden Flora with 10 easily got to the target, finishing on 85 for 2 in 13.5 overs. At the PI playing field, Choiseul Secondary defeated PI Secondary by 71 runs. Choiseul Secondary batting first in a game reduced to 30 overs aside, dismissed for 147 in 19 overs, with Jaheim St. Amy making 28 and Jamal Lawrence 20. Bowling for PI Secondary, Alex Samuel picked up 3 for 28. Aidan Brown 3 for 35 and Joshua Monero 2 for 5. In reply, PI Secondary bowled out for 76 in 18.5 overs, with Carlson Henry making 15 and Eden Brown 10. Bowling for Choiseul Secondary, Ned Eugene took 3 for 34 and Joe Joseph and Jaheim St. Amy with identical figures of 2 for 9. Head table tennis coach in the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports, Chris Wells, is confident that newly acquired Taiwanese coach Roslyn Lee will make a great impact on the table tennis coaching program nationally.
I'm very excited and delighted that we are receiving another coach, and I'm happy that Mr. Williams said, "Don't worry, Chris, we're going to get another coach," and it actually came through. So sometime last week, I got a nice little message in my WhatsApp, saying Sakafet. And I said, huh? I jumped and I was excited because it meant that Rosalind did a little study of our culture and she was well prepared to go for that adventure over here in the table tennis life in St Lucia. So I'm very thankful to the Taiwanese embassy for continually assisting us.
Lee was recently presented to the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports through the efforts of the Taiwanese embassy here in St. Lucia. And that's your update from the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports for today. I'm Ryan O'Brien.
Thanks, Ryan. The government of St. Lucia has received a donation of satellite phones from the United States government. More from Anicia Antoine.
In an effort to build the country's capacity to respond to natural disasters, the U.S. ambassador to Barbados, the Eastern Caribbean, and the OECS presented 2 satellite phones to the government of St. Lucia. Minister with responsibility for foreign affairs, Honorable Sarah Flood-Bobre, expressed gratitude to the U.S. government on behalf of the government and the people of St. Lucia.
We live in a part of the world where we are so vulnerable to natural disasters. And every year we've got to prepare for the hurricane season. And just think of the people of Dominica. They're not anywhere near recovered from the last hurricane. They now have to prepare again for the hurricane. And we remembered how the hurricane changed to a category 6 literally within hours. And we know how quickly persons can be cut off. And if you cut off from the rest of the world, how hard it is to get help. And so this is so very important. Small device, but very important device that we don't have.
U.S. Ambassador to Barbados, the Eastern Caribbean, and the OECS, Linda Tagliatella, informed that a drill will be done to ensure that the phones are able to transmit a signal.
The one thing about it is that's interesting, these are satellite phones, so you have to go outside and connect to a satellite, which then beams back down to another satellite phone. So hopefully you'll be able to connect not only to the people in Barbados or the people at Nemo, but you'll also be able to contact people on other islands, depending on where they're connecting and where they can pick up signals.
The 2 satellite phones were distributed to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMO, and the Office of the Prime Minister. From the Government Information Service, I am Anicia Antoine reporting.
And stay with the NTN Nightly. Up next, Primus Hutchinson is here with the NTN Nouvelle à Creole.
If you have to do your own spray mix for Black Sigatoka treatment, always follow the recommended safety procedures. Always wear protective gear when handling or being exposed to the fungicide or other pesticides. Use only the fungicides recommended by the Black Sigatoka Management Unit when the treatment is due. The required quantity of the particular fungicide recommended must be mixed with spray oil and applied at a rate of 1.5 to 2 gallons per acre. Fungicides which are not recommended or applied at the wrong time, or even when the spray treatment is not done effectively, can cause the fungus to become resistant to the chemical and therefore may no longer control the disease. Oil fungicide mix which has been stored for too long should not be used to treat Black Sigatoka disease. If carried out, such treatments may not be effective and can lead to poor control of the disease. Remember, before each chemical treatment for Black Sigatoka disease on your farm, first, the oil fungicide mix must be re-agitated immediately before application.
For more information on how to treat and control Black Sigatoka on your farm or in your backyard garden, contact the Black Sigatoka Management Unit at 451-5491, 451-5894, or email bpmu@candw.lc. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture in collaboration with the International Cooperation and Development Fund of the Republic of China on Taiwan.
Welcome back. We join Primus Hutchinson for the NTN Nouvelle à Creole.
Merci, Nisha. Monsieur, Madame, Département qui est responsabilité pour information au gouvernement Saint Lucia, GIS, à ce moment télévision nationale, pays NTN, caposato Nouvelle à Creole, posato Primus Hutchinson. Plusieurs peuples à Paris d'Henry North trouvé grande reconnaissance pour la contribution qu'ils ont fait pour le développement de ces communes à Paris. En résultat de ça, le ministère pour le développement commun et transformation sociale a salué concept pour le développement de Paris à Henry North de tenir une spéciale cérémonie le 11 mai pour honorer ces gens-là. Durant la cérémonie, l'officier qui a une responsabilité pour le développement à la commune, c'est Mme Kisha Attil, félicité c'est ça qui recevait l'honneur pour contribution au développement national. L'officier a informé que l'année a le bénéfice pour les gens qui sont engagés dans la qualité d'activité comme ça et qui a aussi renforcé l'esprit de n'importe commune. Chef pour concept là, M. Aloysius Cumberbatch, remarqué que l'une de ses principales raisons pour organiser l'activité c'était l'observation quand on disait mon anniversaire indépendance Saint Lucia. Il remarqué qu'il était plaît et puis initiative ça là avec support ministre là et gouvernement pour aider faire ça en succès. C'est madame avec monsieur qui trouvait l'honneur pour contribution pour trouver l'honneur ça là pour sport, développement commun, développement culturel, éducation, export. Concept là ni attention pour organiser activité ça là tous les années. Organisation police PIA, j'ai trouvé un soulagement comme 40 membres neufs qui ont complémenté l'organisation récemment. Durant une cérémonie vendredi passé, plusieurs Grecs à l'organisation police, ensemble puis les représentatifs du gouvernement et puis le Premier ministre Saint Lucia, honorable Alain Chassenay, étaient présents pour bienvenir ces polices neufs là. Ces polices neufs là qui ont augmenté la population police Saint Lucia comme le gouvernement qui a essayé pour adresser la situation criminelle qui a menacé le pays à présent. C'est le chef de police Milton Daisy, il déclare que ces polices neufs là qui ont aidé autant pour abattre le problème crime et violence à cette lycée.
Pour plus police, nous qui ont aidé nous pour nous essayer de bout ces crimes là qui a fait en place là. Moi je voulais remercier le gouvernement pour ces 49 police neuf ça là et puis moi je hope that nous avons un changement from semaine prochaine côté yo kay en là oui.
Comment cette semaine prochaine ces police neuf là qui trouvé placé en diverses divisions police PIA pour commencer le travail. 15 différentes organisations à PIA recevaient à Hodi $450,000 en effort pour supporter le travail qui ont fait pour aider les gens qui pas paient et bien qui ont diverses assistances. Le Premier ministre honorable Alain Chassenay remarque que ces diverses organisations ont vraiment mérité de assistance comme ça. Le Premier ministre a annoncé que si l'argent c'était à cause des gens qui font contribution durant un grand bal, le Premier ministre a plus bonne l'année ça là. Parmi ces organisations qui reçoivent un bénéfice, c'était Living Waters en Sophia, ils ont trouvé $5,000, l'école Care a trouvé $5,000, l'association Our Boys Matter et l'association Sickle Cell, chaque recevait $10,000. Fondation pour le développement national recevait $15,145. Meridian Home, Adelaide Home et Comfort Bay, chaque recevait $15,000. Lady Gordon Center recevait $20,000. L'école Donata recevait $15,000. Fostering Home pour les enfants, ils ont ça pour un secours pour femmes et associations pour les gens qui souffrent et puis mauvais déshabille en résultat des problèmes et puis Jaoué en cause des maladies en cervelle, tout trouvé $20,000. L'association Les Aveugles recevait $25,000 et la société Cornerstone recevait $250,000. Et c'est comme ça nous votre nouvelle là. Je remercie autant pour garder, je vais avoir une invitation pour et puis moi encore, si tu conserves la vie, je vais présenter à l'autre nouvelle à créole. Après ça, je vais présenter au Nisha.
Merci Opil Primus. And here's a look at what's happening to us weather-wise.
Fair to occasionally cloudy skies with a few scattered showers. Moisture and instability associated with a tropical wave will cause some showery spells over the Lesser Antilles during the forecast period. Another tropical wave located over the eastern tropical Atlantic is moving westward near 12 miles per hour or 19 kilometers per hour. The tide for Castries Harbour was low at 5:33 p.m. and will be high again at 12:04 a.m. The tide for Vieux Bay was high at 12:29 p.m. and will be low again at 7 p.m. The seas slight to moderate with waves 3 to 6 feet or 0.9 to 1.8 meters. The sun will rise Wednesday at 5:34 a.m.
And that brings us to the end of the NTN Nightly. Join us next time at 7 p.m. with a repeat at 7 a.m. You can also catch up with us anytime on the St. Lucia Government Facebook page or YouTube channel. I'm Nisha Charles.